Hello, hello.
That was weird.
Welcome back.
Welcome back to Drink Read Fabio.
My name's Brimmer.
And I'm Sophia Kaiafas.
And we are your hosts of this show.
Yeah.
Drink Read Fabio is a podcast where we first recommend a book to you and make a drink out of it so that we can then talk about the book that makes us drink, which is a silly, outrageous romance novel, and we switch off telling it every single week. So to start you off, I am going to recommend the book BETCH Read. Yay! Obviously, summer's coming up, so this is the perfect book to read on the beach in your summer vibes.
I'm already in the summer mindset. I'm like,
oh, of course.
Goodbye spring, let's get to summer and be on the beach.
Yes, I'm so excited. And it was so cute to read, it was so good, and that's why I'm recommending it for you guys. BETCH Read is about January Andrews, who is a romance novelist who is having writer's block after her world crumbles around her. I'm not going to say why, but things go south.
Things go south.
And she is struggling. Augustus Everett, her college rival, writes dark fiction with no happy endings. He does not believe in happy endings. He believes in real, deep, dark life.
Yes.
And this is why they've always had this rivalry, because in college she always wrote short stories on romance and happy endings, and he hated that. He was like, hello, girl, that's not how real life is. They find themselves neighbors for 3 months, right on the beach, while they both have goals to finish a new novel, and they're both having crazy writer's block. They end up making a bet, and then each decide to write in the genre of the other person to see who can sell the other's genre at a higher price.
Yeah, so fun.
So fun. And to help each other along the way, they both have to take turns each night creating an experience to help the other kind of get the vibe of their genre.
Yeah.
So, who will come on top? And will they stay rivals forever? Dun, 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 dun. Will they? No. But obviously, because it's a beach book, I created a tropical drink for us, which I'm gonna call Lying in the Sand.
Okay.
So, we're gonna make a pineapple margarita.
Yeah.
Yum, yum. Love me some tropical flavors. Love me margarita on the beach.
Yes.
And it's perfect aloha.
Yes.
All right. So we're gonna start off with some frozen pineapple. I cut this up and I froze it. Woohoo! Put it in that freezer. Let's see if it'll fit. And I'm putting it inside of a blender cup because we're gonna blend this.
Blendy.
Blend. Oh no.
Oh.
Pineapple. This is about like roughly 2 cups, I'd say.
Yeah.
I don't even know if all that will fit. We're gonna do this much.
Sure. We are using tequila finally. We don't like it, but
we are. We're trying to expand.
A lot of you guys like it.
We're trying to expand our alcohol taste buds. So we're gonna really try to get at least a couple drinks of every single liquor that's popular, you know?
Yes.
We got a stray from the vodka, which is sad. But here we are.
Here we are.
1/2 cup.
Nice pour.
Thanks. And we're gonna do then 1/4 cup of triple sec because margarita. Smells like oranges.
Yeah.
4 tablespoons of sugar. And about 2 limes. I cut up 3 just in case. You know, live your truth. Yeah. Good. So fill the rest of the cup up with ice, blend it up, and then we'll have it.
Yeah.
Now that you have it all blended and nice, I'm gonna salt the rims. Yay, it looks like snow.
pretty.
All right, we're gonna pour this in. I'm excited.
Me too.
I love frozen drinks.
Me too.
Makes me pretend like it's a slushy.
Yeah. And we love
I
slushies.
love slushies.
Oh, yeah. Yay! Yeah!
All right, I'm gonna move this back to the kitchen because it's a mess, and we're gonna wipe this down, and then
We're gonna try it.
we're gonna try it. All right,
All right.
let's try it.
Cheers!
Oh, good salt.
Good?
Yum. That's danger.
Mm-hmm.
That's really danger.
Okay. Amazing. We love it.
Go make yourself a marg.
Mm-hmm.
Come on back. And it's Sophia's week
And
to
get
tell
ready.
us about the book.
Yes. So, the book that I picked for this week is Gaslighted in Colorado.
No. Not Gaslighted.
Yep, Gaslighted in Colorado.
Why does it look kind of like Katniss?
So this is by Cassie Miles.
Cute.
And I found this I saw this in the Barnes & Noble romance section. But to be completely honest, it wasn't really a romance. It was more of a like mystery thriller.
What?
So you guys are just gonna have to come along for the ride. I mean, there is romance, but I would say it's not really about the romance.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's get into it. The book starts off with this girl named Caroline. Well, we don't know her name at the beginning, but her name is Caroline.
Okay.
She's running through the woods, but she doesn't know why she's running, but she knows she's really scared, and her head really hurts, and she thinks she hit it on something.
Oh no.
Then she stumbles upon a cabin, and she's like, I feel like I've been here before. And she knocks on the door, but no one answers, so she sneaks in the back, and there's a man inside, and she goes over to him to be like, help me, I'm in trouble. And he has blood all over his shirt. She sees a gun next to him, and her watch that she lost. And she realizes that she's seen him before, but she can't remember who he is, but all she knows is she's really scared of him. A man shows up, and it's a deputy sheriff saying, like, open the door, Virgil, there's the man, or I'll kick down the door, because he called the police before he died.
Oh man.
And she's like, oh shit, I look so suspicious, like, I have like his blood on me because she was trying to help him, and like her watch is in here, she's like, there's a gun, she's in the wrong place at the wrong time. And she can't even remember her name.
Cute.
Yeah. Of course, the deputy sheriff, whose name is John, ends up being like this gorgeous man, manly man, and she decides to tell him the truth and say that she like was running, she came over here because she needed help, and she doesn't remember anything about herself.
Yeah.
She has an amnesia of some kind. He's like, you might have a concussion, but I'm still suspicious of you because you could be lying and saying you can't remember, but you killed him. Eventually more like lawmen show up, and then this man, another man, comes running up to her, to Caroline, pulling her into an embrace, and he's like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad you're all right. And she's like, I don't know who you are. And he's like, Caroline, why are you being so weird? And she's like, oh, my name's Caroline. And John is like, who are you? And he says, I'm Max. I'm her fiance. And then she faints. Dun, dun, dun.
Oh, that's like my worst nightmare.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
Not remembering even your name. She doesn't know anything.
Having a fiance.
Having a fiance? Dun, dun. The
Like,
horror.
I know. It's scary.
Having a fiance, period. Not with amnesia, just fiance.
Just having a fiance.
I cannot. Next, we end up in the hospital, and the book goes back and forth between Caroline's view and John's view. So now we're seeing the next part of the story from John's point of view. He calls another sheriff and asks him if Virgil had any enemies, and he says not really, like there are people that probably didn't like him, but not anyone that would want to kill him. But there is this guy named Derek Everett. He got caught by Virgil when he was robbing a jewelry store and the clerk was shot. Virgil testified in court against Everett, and Everett was convicted to 22 years in prison. But he died in jail. So it couldn't be him directly, but maybe he had friends or family who wanted revenge, but we don't know who.
That's scary.
Then someone brings this photo that was taken from the cabin, Virgil's cabin. And it's a photo of Virgil with a woman and a little girl. And they realize the little girl is Caroline. And Virgil is Caroline's great uncle.
Oh.
Yes. So, then he talks to Caroline, John does, and he asks her questions if she remembers anything about the day or her life or Virgil. And while he's talking to her, he's like, oh my God, she's so pretty. Her brown eyes, her brown hair, I love her. She's so cute. Then he goes to talk to Max because the gun they found in the cabin was his.
Oh.
And Max says that they were driving and Caroline got out of the car and started running. And he was like, what? But they were planning to look for Virgil. That's why they were here in Colorado visiting. He says that Caroline's therapist suggested she talk to him to overcome her fear of him because she was abused by him, by her uncle. So her therapist is like, you should go talk to him, see if you can find closure.
I don't think that's what you should do if you get abused by someone.
Yeah.
I don't think that was the best advice.
This therapist, you'll see.
Oh,
she
no.
is
Keep
interesting.
going.
Then Caroline has a therapy session. It's kind of weird, and John says to the reader that he thinks her therapist seems a bit harsh in her approach. So a little weird. After the therapy session, John takes Caroline to a B&B because she doesn't want to stay with her fiance because she doesn't even like him. She doesn't even know why she's engaged to him. She needs to wash off her head wound, and he ends up helping her do that, and they bond. And she tells John that she remembers that Max found the therapist for her. After that, she's like, I need to talk to Max because I don't understand how we got engaged. I don't even remember an engagement. I don't even like him. So what's going on? He says that he has proof with a photo of the proposal. He shows her the photo and she's like, she looks really out of it, not like herself. She's like, I look like I'm drunk in this photo. Like, I look not normal, but she doesn't know what happened. So, weird. She breaks up with him and he says this. So, fine, he spat the word. Your suitcase is still in the Tahoe, so I can give it to you right now. Then you can change into one of your boring little t-shirt and jeans outfits to go with your boring denim cap. When he flicked the brim, she snapped, I'm wearing this to cover the dressing on my head wound. Fine, you can wear one of your boring outfits with your boring little cap. And she's like, I'm literally wearing this because I hit my fucking head, you dick.
Oh my god.
He sucks. And I was just like,
because they had to make him suck.
Yeah, he did suck from the very beginning. And John's like, I hate him. She doesn't deserve someone like that.
Of course.
Then this guy, Raphael, shows up with John. And Raphael is the nephew of Eddie Valdez, who is Virgil's investment counselor. Eddie Valdez is Virgil's investment counselor.
Okay.
Raphael is her nephew.
Okay.
Eddie's nephew.
Friend of a friend of a friend.
Eddie's a girl. He says that Virgil has a ton of money invested, so that could be a reason why someone would want to kill him. John takes her back to the B&B. She tells him about the watch and how she found it in the cabin and says that he thinks that maybe the murderer was intending to frame her. And he's like, okay, here's an idea. Let's go to the poker party that Virgil usually goes to, where all his friends attend, and show people the watch and see if you get a reaction out of any of them and see if we can figure out maybe someone might be hiding something. At the poker party, She's showing the watch around, and this man named Yuri Popov
What a name.
says he gave that to her for her high school graduation.
Oh, so he knows her.
Yes, he knows her since he was a little girl, and he's really close friends with Virgil. And yeah. Once they start playing poker, Caroline goes upstairs to go to bed. She's exhausted. John goes with her to make sure she's safe. And Popov eventually comes and knocks on the door. He says he needs to talk to John in the hallway and tells him that the trauma actually started with Caroline's mother, not Virgil. Her mom was dating Derek Everett, the guy that was taken to prison because of Virgil.
Ooh.
And Caroline threatened Virgil and took Caroline away to never see him again. And convinced her from a little girl that he was bad.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because the mom was like, you put my
Boyfriend in prison. Yeah. Popov also told him that this woman would visit Derek in prison, not Caroline's mother, another woman. But he didn't know who. And John was like, okay, I'll look into it.
That's sus.
John goes back down to play poker, but Caroline texts him, help me, hurry. So he runs back upstairs to her room. She shows him a note she found under her pillow saying, Caroline, get out of town, bitch. Then they have a moment, and he comforts her, and they kiss.
That's
I'm like, it wasn't super quick, but it's just like, he really must trust her. Like, we don't know.
Yeah.
If she
Because she's
killed
still
him.
a suspect.
Yeah.
That's like not very professional of him.
He sits outside her room all night to keep her safe after that. He doesn't sleep in the bed with her.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. The next day, Max shows up with Caroline's therapist, Lola. Lola. Caroline invited her to see if she could help with her memories because she's been talking to her for a long time. And she's like, maybe you can help jog my memories and you can figure out what's going on.
Gotcha.
When Lola shows up, she's being super hostile and controlling towards Caroline. And it's just like, whoa, girl.
Okay.
She's been having a lot of problems
Give her
recently. Give her a
space.
break. A CBI agent shows up and says the woman who visited Derek in prison was named Sylvia Cross. She had 2 kids, supposedly that were Derek's, but she passed away, so it couldn't be her that killed him. But before she passed away, she gave the kids up to the foster system, so they could see that maybe the kids did it, but it would be really hard to track them down, since their names could possibly have changed. You know, we don't know where they are now.
Yeah.
Later, Lola asks Caroline if she will join her and Max at Popov's ranch. Because Max is a veterinarian and it's going to help Popov with his pregnant horse.
Well, that's nice.
Yes. Lola and Max are like hanging out, which is really weird. Like, she refuses to stay at the B&B where Caroline's staying. She wants to stay at the hotel or motel or whatever that Max is staying at.
Why is Max still there? Is he still a part of the case?
He's still a suspect. Yeah. Yeah, so it's just a little weird why they're like buddying it up. She asks John to go with her, and in the car, she's like, John, I trust you. And they kiss, and he says, tonight, I want you in my bed.
Oh,
John! And she says, yes, of course. At the ranch, Max reveals that he has tranquilizers with him for the horse. Because that's usually carry around tranquilizers to calm the animals. But John and Caroline are like, that's suspicious. That's interesting. Maybe he drugged her to get her to agree to marriage. She has a conversation with Lola at the ranch. And she's like, Lola, I remember that when I was running, I was actually running from Max. And she says, I think he drugged me. But he couldn't be the killer because the timing wouldn't make sense for when she was running away, got to the cabin and whatnot. But Lola takes his side and is like, you have PTSD, honey. You don't remember anything. Like, it's like, he couldn't have done that. He's your fiance. He loves you. And she's like, I don't even know why were together.
That's sus.
Yeah. Like, just gaslighting her.
Mm-hmm.
Ha ha ha.
Hey.
And Caroline's like, I can't trust this lady anymore either. Then they go to John's house and they like have a moment, and he puts her in this room up in his cabin that's like at the top, that's like only has one door in, so no intruders can get in.
I thought he said he wanted her in his bed though.
Yeah, that's where his bedroom is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
he puts her in
safe.
his bedroom.
Yes.
That's safe. Gotcha.
And I thought this was funny, like the decorations he has. She was like, I wasn't expecting these decorations. And it's like royal and emerald green and like blues and purples, and like he has zebra pillows. And I'm like, what is this burly man in a cabin have like velvet and zebra in his room? I don't know. It's a little.
Someone come get this man.
Yeah.
Man's, my goodness.
Then they have sex.
Yeah.
4 times.
It's a lot. In one night?
Mm-hmm.
Ow.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I don't understand why people write things like that.
Yeah.
That's not realistic.
No.
Maybe twice.
They were waiting for it. The next morning, John isn't there. So she decides to go for a run because she's a stupid fucking idiot. On her run, Raphael shows up because he's kind of like stalking her.
Oh.
And shows up on her run with a picture from his aunt. So he's like, I need you to see this.
Mm.
That shows Sylvia Cross, the lady that was
Yeah.
seeing the prisoner and her kids.
Mm-hmm.
And the girl looks like someone. But Caroline doesn't realize it at first. She's talking to Raphael, and Lola pulls up in Caroline's car and is like, I thought we could get lunch before our session. Do you think you could drive the car? And Caroline is like, sure. Raphael, tell John where I am. I'm going with Lola.
Don't do it.
She gets in the car and she looks at Lola's face and realizes that Lola is the daughter of Sylvia. Lola kidnaps her and has Max tied up in the trunk.
Whoa.
Yeah. She used Max to get to Caroline.
Uh-huh.
So basically she has a gun to Caroline's head and it's like, drive bitch. So
Drive
bitch. Fucking drive bitch. So she tells her basically, you know, she reveals the truth. That's all villains do at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're like, this is everything that I did. So she told Max if he got Caroline to marry him, he would get the inheritance Caroline got once Lola killed Virgil. Mm. So Lola would get revenge for her father, and Max would get money.
Gotcha, because she's gonna inherit all this money you put away.
Yes. But Lola's like, I would just steal it from Max anyway. So I lied to him about that too.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Lola.
I know, Lola. Her plan now is to make Caroline drive up to the top of this cliff so Lola can shoot her and push her off the cliff. And she's gonna make it look like Caroline committed suicide because she's like, has amnesia and she forgot and she's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they told John where she was going.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, he
But he still trusts Lola.
Raphael, yeah.
Oh.
He doesn't know it's danger.
Oh.
And also Lola throws her phone out of the car. So he can't track her.
Oh no.
Yeah. Lola tells her all of her sessions were to make her feel crazy, so she'd be an easier target. And she tells her that Virgil was never abusive and that she just gaslighted her into thinking that so that she would go and talk to him and then be able to use Caroline as bait, basically. So Caroline's like, okay, what do I do? So Caroline ends up trying to crash the car and she makes a run for it, but Lola takes a tranquilizer and shoots it in her leg. So she's like trying to run, but she's like slowing down. And
the amount of nightmares I have of that happening to me.
Oh, I know. And John shows up.
Oh, thank goodness.
As Caroline's eyes are closing, she sees that John is arresting Lola.
Yay!
After that, everyone's going to prison. And John and Caroline Professor love to each other, and he asks her to move to Colorado, and she says yes.
Yay!
The end.
Wait, that was fun.
I know. It was kind of a wild ride. I was like, okay, where's the romance?
Yeah.
But it's fun. We got a little romance, we got a little mystery, so yeah. So I'm gonna have you read some quotes from the book.
Before she went to bed tonight, he'd warn her again and advised her not to open the door for anybody. The best security measure would be for him to sleep beside her in her bed. But that plan carried its own threat. If he slept with her and didn't make love, John was fairly sure he'd come undone. They had sex. Well, that was a whole other ball game. Can you imagine a police officer being like, well, the safest thing for me to do would be like to sleep in your bed with you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, sleep in your bed. Sleep with you.
But like, that's dangerous for me.
That is not professional at all.
No, not professional.
You know, if you really want to be safe, you'd let me in your bed.
You'd let me sit right next to you and cuddle and maybe like stick my dick inside you.
That's right. You'd be really safe that way.
You'd feel really safe if I could have sex with you.
The loft doesn't seem practical, but it is. There's only one door at the top of the spiral staircase. When it's locked, no one can get inside. You're as safe as Rapunzel in her tower. But I don't have long hair, and I want you, my prince, to stay here with me. I'm not going anywhere. He lowered himself onto the futon beside her. He goes, I'm not going anywhere.
You're like Rapunzel in a tower. You're so sad.
But I don't have long hair.
I don't have long hair. I'm not like her at all.
I'm my prince here.
The semi.
After their clothing was gone and their naked bodies fit against each other, he rose above her, supporting his weight on his elbows, and looked down at her. You're beautiful, Caroline. Yeah? Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Though breathing hard, she couldn't resist teasing. Maybe it's time to bring out those handcuffs. We'll save those for next time.
Ooh, because he handcuffs her in the beginning of the book.
Bring out the handcuffs. I wish they would have used handcuffs in the sex scene.
I know, that would have been hilarious. They didn't have a sex scene.
They just skipped over it. They did that thing where they were like,
and they get naked, and then
they woke up the next morning.
Yeah.
I can't believe we had sex 4 times.
Literally.
I hate it when they
I
do
know,
that.
like, either show me or don't do
Have
that.
sex.
Don't have sex. Yeah. But yeah, that was Gaslighted in Colorado. She sure was gaslighted.
She really was.
She
Man,
was.
By
So-
multiple people.
Let's rate her.
Okay.
So, the way we rate our books is on a scale from 1 to 5 about how drunk you would need to be to say you actually, truly enjoyed this book. So, we start with...
Do you want me to do it?
Yes.
Slightly
I
buzzed.
always forget the first one. That freaks me out. Slightly buzzed.
Slightly buzzed. Tipsy. Drunk. Stumbling. Blackout.
Yes. So, the rating is... Tipsy.
Tipsy?
Tipsy. It really wasn't that bad.
That's good. You're pretty nice with your ratings.
Yeah, I think I am on Goodreads too. I'm like, was it? Do I think that you guys should read it? No, because there are way better mysteries out there. But, it was enjoyable. I was a little bit disappointed that there wasn't that much romance, because they talked about it a lot, like, to themselves, like, oh, she's so beautiful, oh, I want to touch her, but, like, nothing really happened, because they're trying to figure out a freaking murder.
Yeah.
And some of, like, the pieces in the mystery didn't really match up very well, and I was like, this is kind of bad. But, like, overall, there wasn't really that many cheesy things. It was just, like, a mystery, basically. So,
Nice.
It was fine. So,
Nice.
That was that book.
I love it. Except
Yes.
the cover. The cover is really good.
Yeah, and I think if it wasn't called Gaslighted in Colorado, it would be maybe a better book. But, like, that title is just
Bad.
bad.
It's hilariously bad.
Yeah.
Anyway, good job! Yay!
Thank you.
Well, guys, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, follow us on TikTok, follow us on Instagram, follow us on YouTube.
Yeah.
And let us know if you have read BETCH Read or Gaslighted in Colorado.
If you have, I
Yeah.
will be shocked, but I would love to chat.
Love to hear about it. All right, guys, have a good night and see you next week on
Drink Read Fabio.
Have a good day or a good week. I don't know.
Bye.